Hello. Welcome to my presentation, Conflict Resolution Training in Family Daycare Programs. This is an important topic for me because I've been running a family daycare program for a little over 20 years. I've been studying conflict resolution and have learned about the many benefits that people can have from receiving conflict resolution training. Many families rely upon daycare for their children. According to the 2011 New York Census Bureau, there are 880,791 children under the age of 6 in New York State that potentially need and attend childcare. Many of these children will be enrolled in a family daycare program. New York State requires a rigorous training for providers who want to start a family daycare business. However, current New York State regulations do not require family daycare programs to complete any training in conflict resolution. This is a concern because conflict exists across all environments, and particularly in a daycare when you have a group of children that are interacting for a good portion of the day. Children often enter daycare as early as 6 weeks old and can stay in daycare until they enter school at age 5. The 3 to 5 age range and its cognitive growth and social development are incredibly important periods where children learn and are highly accessible to being taught constructive versus destructive ways of thinking and behaving. Given that this age group is most often in a daycare environment, it's very important that conflict resolution skills are implemented. Conflict resolution programs have been proven to be highly effective in school settings and have resulted in positive outcomes for schools that implement these programs. Conflict is best handled constructively, and a conflict-positive school can yield positive results. The benefits of a conflict-positive school are far-reaching and can have profound impacts on student success, less violence and bullying in schools, and prepare the student for the inevitable conflicts that will present in society as they advance beyond school. One example of a conflict resolution program aimed at children and students is the Teaching Students to be Peacemakers program. The Teaching Students to be Peacemakers program is the most robustly researched and implemented conflict resolution program in a school setting. The results of the TSP training have shown that students have an increased academic achievement, more positive attitudes towards conflict, an ability to transfer conflict resolution skills in situations that exist outside of the classroom and school setting, including using strategies in family settings, and also fewer discipline problems. The Teaching Students to be Peacemakers program begins in 1st grade and continues through 12th grade. Students who complete the TSP program learn the value of constructively managing conflict and perceive conflict as a valuable experience that can lead to a positive outcome. This is done through repeated exercises, workshops, and designated mediators in the peer group that help with negotiation. One strategy that may build upon the TSP program can be to begin a basic conflict resolution training in toddler and preschool groups in a child care setting. This can help lay the foundation for conflict resolution skills, interaction, mediation, and negotiation among younger peer groups. This can be achieved using the following guidelines. 1. Creating a classroom climate that is conducive to resolving conflicts constructively. 2. Training staff and faculty to have a positive attitude relating to conflict. And 3. Focus discipline towards self-regulation and awareness of helping to mediate among each other when a conflict arises. Cooperative learning in a setting in which the teacher or daycare provider has been effectively trained in conflict resolution, and specifically the strategies associated with the TSP program, can assist in early skill building relating to constructive conflict management, peer negotiation, and basic skills that can result in a conflict resolved in a positive and meaningful way, as opposed to a conflict negative environment in which conflicts are suppressed and avoided, and when they occur are managed in destructive ways. The Peaceful Kids Early Childhood Social Emotional Conflict Resolution Program, or ECSEL, uses curriculum that promotes social, emotional, and cognitive growth through an integrated approach involving parents, preschool staff, and children in a shared learning network. The ECSEL program resulted in an increase in assertiveness, cooperation, and self-control in children who participated in the program. Parenting strategies also improved. These results show that conflict resolution programs can be effective and beneficial in daycare settings, but this program is not widely used in family daycare programs. Another concern regarding conflict management in a daycare setting is inconsistencies with how the provider manages a conflict. Conflict strategies can vary from caregiver to caregiver, and often the strategies used are not effective or appropriate for constructively managing conflict. Many caregivers rely on personal beliefs or experiences that shape the way they address conflict. Without professional training, caregivers are not equipped with the tools to be able to implement empirically proven methods that result in positive outcomes in conflict resolution among children in their program. Efficient conflict resolution management can be achieved by including conflict resolution workshops into the training regimen that exists, adding conflict resolution as an additional topic requirement. Conflict resolution training such as the foundations of TSP and ECSEL should be offered to family daycare providers based on empirical evidence that has shown positive outcomes in students in schools and daycare programs that participate. Including conflict resolution into daycare curriculum is also an important step towards addressing conflict issues in integrated early childhood programs. While the bulk of research has focused on conflict that arises between typically developing children, the number of integrated programs are increasing. This leads to an increase in conflict between typically developing children and children with disabilities, who may have different behaviors, conflict strategies, and goals. Research has also found that teachers respond differently to typically developing children and children with disabilities, which emphasizes the importance of adequate training in conflict management and resolution in teachers and caregivers to facilitate positive social interactions. Conflict resolution training for family daycare providers can benefit the provider as well as the children and families enrolled in the program. Daycare providers with high job satisfaction can have a positive effect on their business, and teachers' conflict handling styles affect comradeship, professional satisfaction, and even teaching practice. The increase in effective group management and conflict positive setting that can result from implementing a conflict resolution training and skill building can contribute to both a reduction in stress when there is training that can lead to confident leadership and modeling conflict positive behavior and cooperation among peer groups in daycare programs. Including conflict resolution training into required child care training can both positively impact the families who are enrolled and improve job satisfaction of the daycare provider. Modeling training after the ECSEL program, as well as educating providers on the TSP program that is offered in conflict-positive school settings, can lead to daycare providers teaching young children conflict resolution skills and developing strategies for positive social experiences that can have a lasting benefit. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my presentation. I look forward to hearing everyone's feedback and also really hope that in the future, conflict resolution workshops and programs can be offered to daycare providers, as I think it will provide a great benefit to the community, to the provider, and the children in the daycares.